Great catching up with my next guest. He's going to be fighting at XFC Young Guns 3 on August 6th. Jett, how's it going, man?
I'm really good, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hey, of course. It's great to connect with you, man. Before we get into your backstory and all that, tell me how this all came together with you connecting and getting to fight with XFC.
Yeah, so basically this actually started about a year ago when I was, just trying to look for fights and stuff like that. But I was approached by my manager and my management company, MTK Global, my manager, Rizvan. So he just reached out to me, and then he kind of laid out the plan for what he wants to do with me, how to build my career as a fighter, and what he had in store with me. And then I had a couple other managers reach out to me. Rizvan had the best plan. He had he seemed the most intelligent. So I stuck with him, and I've been really thankful to have him as a manager. And he helped me secure this deal for the 4-fight contract. Yeah,
and I can see why you're in demand, man. I was looking at the credentials here. Pretty impressive. Let me know if I got this straight. 2018 IWMA Junior Welterweight World Champion, 2019 Pan Am Champion, and 2019 Amateur Champion. A lot of really good credentials. With all that said, when did this journey start for you? How did you get involved in combat sports?
Yeah, so it actually started when I was about 12 years old. I was... I did a bit of downhill skiing. I did a little bit of every other sport, but I was trying to find, I was always interested, I watched The Karate Kid when I was 12, and I really wanted to try martial arts from there. So, I did karate for a bit, and then after that, I got an invitation from a friend to come try out an MMA class at Jason McDonald's old gym and Pure Fitness. So I tried, I did that, a couple months into karate, I went over to MMA. I did that, and I just felt within the first week or two, I want to at least try to pursue this as a career. So I just fell in love with it ever since. So
Jason McDonald is a name I've not heard in a very long time. Do you still keep in touch with him? Because I remember he was one of the top Canadians in the UFC years ago.
Yeah, so he kind of got away from the MMA side of business. He wanted just to focus on the CrossFit stuff. So that happened when I was 13. So when I was 13, I made the switch to where I still am now, Rashido Red Deer. I train under Gary Vig, and I've been under there ever since. But yeah, Jason sometimes comes in and trains the BJJ and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a great guy and super knowledgeable. He's a beast still. So
interesting. So, you sort of touched on it a bit there, but I imagine, early on, you kind of knew this was something you wanted to pursue as a career. Like you said, you fell in love with it. Because I know for some fighters, it's like that first amateur fight, or maybe it's that first practice. Yeah. What for you specifically was it where you're like, this is a career path I'm going to go on?
Yeah, it was literally the first week of training, probably 2 or 3 practices in, and then plus I was watching the UFC Unleashes, and I thought those were super cool. Just got me hooked on the sport. I wanted to be one of those guys. So I just that's how it happened.
Definitely makes sense. Let's talk about your opponent here, Damon Morosko, also going to be making his pro debut just like you are. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Yeah, I think I match up really good against him. He's a tough guy. He's a southpaw. He likes to box. He's a good puncher. He's a hard puncher. He has a bit of wrestling experience, but I think I can stack up really well against him in all areas. And I think I'm just going to be right above him. So.
Why is now the right time to make that jump to pro? I know for a lot of fighters, the pandemic kind of put a wrench in things, right, in terms of traveling and fight opportunities. Was this something that might have happened sooner had we not had the pandemic?
Yeah, I think it would have, because actually, to be honest with you, unfortunately in my last fight I dislocated my shoulder, so it took me about 6 months to a year to get ready. But after I dislocated my shoulder in March, I was actually getting ready to make my pro debut, March of 2020. And, basically that's when the pandemic happened, so everything got shut down. So
okay, so good timing to have an injury, I guess, with the pandemic going on, which isn't bad. So you talked about your coach there in the gym. What about training partners? Who are you mainly getting to work with over there?
So I actually, for this camp, I'm actually cross-training a little bit at Brad Cardinals too, so I'll drive up to Calgary like 2-3 days a week as well. So at Rashido, I'm training with Chris Chapman, some other couple amateurs like Grady Behrens, Sean Toms Carroll, and then I'm training with Barang Yusafi too a little bit. And then at Cardinals, I'm training with Justin Bazra, Ali Charka, who's making his pro debut, Stephen Michael Thomas, Tim Shady, a couple other guys. So yeah.
That's great. There's another name I haven't heard in a while. Justin, what is he still fighting? Yeah. What's going on with him? I know he's had a tough time getting a fight.
I don't know. You'll have to ask him on that, I think.
But he is in there training with you, I guess, like you were saying. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, he is training. So
super talented kid. Really cool.
Yeah, super talented.
Yeah. How about the weight cut? I mean, we have a bit of time, but how's all that going? Ahead of this fight.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it'll be no problem making weight. So. Yeah, it'll be really good.
Do you have to make your own meals? Do you have meal prep? How do you go about doing that?
I just I make my own meals. I kind of I game plan ahead of time. I have a set number of meals I make for myself, and I just try to stick with that. And then if I plateau in the weight loss, I just keep lowering the calories. Taking a bit of carbs away, and then that's how I do it. So and I weigh every food portion, and
There you go. Then you got it made. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Gary Vig from, my head coach at from Rashido. So
gotcha. I guess you only get one cornerman because the pandemic's still going on.
It's that, and I think I just only get one corner, to be honest. So
okay, no worries. How do you see the fight playing out on August 6th? Obviously, you feel like you're going to get your hand raised, but how do you envision the fight playing out?
I think I'm gonna. Come out there, put the pressure on him. I'm going to catch him off guard. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to, just put the pressure on him until I get a TKO finish or a submission finish. And, I'll just be on top of him the whole fight. I'm going to look to dominate. So that's how I have the mindset of.
And I imagine the plan, for the rest of the year, if all goes well, you pick up a win, you're healthy, maybe get 1-2 more fights in this year just to kind of get some momentum going. I know that, again, this is your pro debut, but I'm sure you want to start racking up the resume a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe even 3 or 4 fights this year. We'll see how everything goes, but that's my plan. Just I got to start racking up the wins, because eventually I want to get in the UFC or whatever other promotion. So I got to get my record up there. So
Well, and you have a big benefit as well, being in Alberta, that there's a lot of, in Western Canada anyways, there's a lot of MMA going on right now. I know Unified starting up their promotions. And where I live here in BC, we've got Battlefield, we've got Rise FC. They're all doing events as well. So I guess in that sense, you must feel pretty good, because if you're in Ontario right now, it's like there's not much going on at all, in terms of MMA because of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. All the Alberta fighters definitely feel lucky, and we're really happy everything's opening up over here. So
there you go. And you kind of touched on it. Their short-term goals, I imagine, pick up a few fights, then maybe get that call to Contender Series or go fight on one of those UFC Fight Pass promotions. Is that kind of what you're looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the game plan. But we'll play it by ear. There's also other different promotions, ONE FC, Bellator. PFL,
exactly. Don't limit yourself. There's lots going on, right? So that makes sense for sure. Exactly. That's cool. Exactly. Who would you say? Who are some of your favorite fighters? Who's someone that you enjoy watching? And when I say that, what comes to mind?
I like George St. Pierre. I like who's another couple guys I got to think about. I like Fedor. Fedor I really like to watch back in the day. Randy Couture.
You had me at GSP, man. You started that was perfect. And Fedor, that's good.
I actually have quite a few fighters. I don't have really anyone in particular. I kind of watch them all. I used to like Rashad Evans. When I was growing up. All those guys. So
What's crazy is two of those names you just mentioned are actually going to be fighting again. Fedor is fighting in October, which don't get why he's doing that. Probably should be hanging him up. Yeah. And Rashad's coming back to box, apparently, which it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. But
and then I guess the current day fighters, it would be Khabib for sure is one of them. And then also, I like Michael Chandler too. I like watching.
For sure. Well, Khabib technically isn't active, right? He retired, but I get what you're saying. Like more recent fighters, that makes sense. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. What about outside of MMA? You following any other sports? Are you into any other things in terms of hobbies?
You know what? To be honest with you, for hobbies, I downhill ski when it's snowing out. I just like to hang out with friends and family. I got a dog, I hang out with him. I like to go skeet shooting, do a little bit of hunting and stuff like that.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good stuff. Have you ever been to, I got to ask, just because I'm from BC, have you ever been to Whistler before? Because you sound like a big skier.
Yeah, I have been actually. Yeah, I have. It's been a couple of years also.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, I definitely have been. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right, Jett, really appreciate the time, man. Looking forward to this fight. It is XFC Young Guns 3 coming up here on August 6th. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of sponsors. Thank you for all my sponsors for sponsoring me. Thank you for MTK Global for hooking me up with this fight. Thank you for Arashido, and all my training partners getting me ready for this fight. Thank you for everyone.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and social media. Where can people get a hold of you there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jett MMA on Instagram, at Jett MMA Instagram. It's JETT, and then Jett Grande MMA. That's my athlete page on my Facebook, and then also you can also just add me if you want on Facebook. Jett Grande, my Facebook profile. It's just basically MMA stuff. So